Sorry, guys. Listen, I seen something online that said, what's taking the deliberation so long, and it was giving Rodney Kingish vibes, and they were saying, if they don't find him guilty, that people were gonna burn down the city of Minnesota, right? And it's very much possible. And it's very much possible globally, just the way the protests went globally. And I'm gonna tell you why. I didn't watch the trial. I didn't want to be triggered, so I didn't stay away from it because I really didn't want to see anyone's logic. I just didn't want to do that, right? What I want to say is this, is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if these officers feel like people over exaggerate and they're not using excessive force, right? That doesn't matter in this particular case to me. And this is why. Because as this man kneeled on this man's back, who was begging for his life, saying he couldn't breathe, he never once extended him grace or thought about extending him grace, extending him the benefit of the doubt. So what? Even if it's anxiety, why would you want to amplify that anxiety? That's not compassionate. That's not humane, right? And that situation wasn't a situation that couldn't been extended grace. You extend murderers grace. You extend rapists grace. But you wouldn't extend a man begging to breathe grace. So maybe you couldn't see the fear of death in his face, and maybe that's why you felt you couldn't extend grace. However, there were many people around who could see that fear, who could see the dire distress and need of grace this man was needing. And not once did this public servant listen to the public whose tax dollars employ him. Not one single time. Not from a child, not from an adult, and if I'm not mistaken, not from someone qualified in the health industry. Not from none of those people was this public servant willing to listen to, because they begged for grace to be extended. You understand? We the people begged a servant of the justice system to extend grace to someone begging for their life and for the very air that God gives you to breathe. And he did neither. So for that, he needs to be held accountable, and he is guilty. Because God himself would have had to come down and make him give grace. That would have been the only way in those 9 minutes and however many seconds that man would have got up. That was the only way, because that officer was dead set in the decision he made. You understand? In that moment, in that day, he made willfully that decision of his actions to do what he did. That was his and his alone. Because everyone tried to intervene and gave him an opportunity to make a different decision, and he chose to stick with the one he made. And he needs to be held accountable for it. Those are my thoughts. I hope you guys understand the importance of extending grace, because one day you're going to be begging for grace to be extended to you. And we treat people how we want to be treated, and you do not believe in the extension of grace, so you shall receive none. That is how justice works. That is how Jesus thinks. Treat people how you want to be treated. Love thy neighbor. You can't want to receive love and not give love. Because then who are you giving power to? Those who offer no grace. Y'all have a good day.